It'd probably help if I fixed that, wouldn't it? That's not exactly the right thing. Hello, space engineers. That's much better. Hello, everybody. I've been kind of waiting patiently here since last week. I gotta say, the delivery around here and the service level kind of leaves a lot to be desired. I mean, you know, just waiting patiently here. No food. No menus either, for that matter. You know, it'd be kind of nice to know what I can get from this place. Kind of a little on the hungry side. Alrighty. Yep, we are back in the beta. I managed to coax it back into working again. It was a little bit of a close call because it didn't exactly want to come back with the first backup that I tried. However, the second backup took and should be working, and I should be able to hopefully swap in out of it. It's not very... It has some issues swapping back and forth between versions, and here in the Armco Discord, you know that it kind of went a little wrong for Spacebar and I earlier last Saturday. We got things working again. We are picking up where we left off here, so we are up in orbit. We've got a bunch of ships waiting outside. Basically drew down almost all of the money that I made very recently, and I'm kind of looking towards what we're going to be doing, what my goal is. And I'm kind of thinking I wouldn't mind working my way up into the Blue Ambassador Explorer or the Red Cruiser, one of those two. We'll see how long it takes to get there. In the interim, I've got lots of stuff I can sell off when I come up here now, which is nice to know. We've got some contracts that we have accepted. We still have the small steel tube that we have to finish up. Which some of that is down on the surface at the moment, but I want to go ahead and see what else we've got. Aha! Silicon wafer 31? Sure, we'll take that. Platinum ingot? Sure. Actually, yeah, we can work with that. Bulletproof glass? Yes. And detector components? Yes. Now, it should be noted, I loaded this up about 20 minutes ago to make sure I could get the game working again, and it was completely different acquisition contracts, so over time, these do change. So I don't know if it's 100% really based on, you know, you have a certain set that you can work with, and that set keeps regenerating after you return them in or not, or if they just kick themselves up. We're not quite up to the escort contract level yet. We're going to need a good fighter for that. Hauling, 180 kilometers, not really, not without a really good jump ship, I suspect. These aren't too bad, though. I mean, that's pretty fair. 4,000 kilometers, 5,000. A couple jumps would do it, but nope, not really. Repair, we want a good ship. It's got a lot of repair parts in it. I mean, kind of like what they showed there in the background. You definitely want to have everything you need. And we got the search contracts, which I'm not looking forward to. I really don't want to do those. They have said in the, for those not aware, they've announced another public beta Thursday into Friday and potentially into the weekend if it goes well. Which would kind of match what they did with the old multiplayer beta test last year. They did say they're tweaking the search contracts. Well, they're tweaking the grids that are in them. So hopefully they're making them a little easier to find. But for the time being, we have matters to attend to on the outside. Accurately, we've got a lot of stuff to figure out here because we've got some logistics nightmares. We've got an aggressive miner that's hydrogen powered, as in really hydrogen powered. We're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do with. We've got a freighter here, which is obviously being small grid, not jump capable, but suitable for the smaller end stuff, and potentially, because I see Atmo thrusters there, a bit more workable for getting up into orbit and back than the current rover here. Still needs some construction work. And then, of course, on the other side of the station here, we've got ourselves a large grid set up here. which, if I remember correctly, does have... We have an assembler and 2 basic refineries on this, so... we got a full hydrogen tank on that, which is nice. We've got O2 there. The gun on here has no bullets, by the way. I checked that out between streams. It does not have anything. Basically, we have some extra... We have 4K ice and an extra bottle or 2 on here, and that's pretty much it. So what I'm thinking is, as much as I would like to take this aggressive miner down to the planet, it would kind of work. I just don't know if I can actually pull that off with this grid. Alright. Let's see what we can work out here. Because, of course, I also sold off pretty much all my supplies that I brought up with me. Oh, right. Safe zone. Can't build. To nudge these guys ever so slightly out of the way. Something else I also picked up on, and I didn't realize that was the case when I started doing the contracts, is all of the acquisition meeting stuff I've been finishing off. It's put me in good standing with the faction that's here, but it's also actually put me at a disadvantage with the Divine Makers. The same amount, so Merciless is up 24, Divine is down 24. They're both shipbuilders, so I'm kind of interested in seeing how this is going to turn out long term here. Hydrogen on. And let's get you out. I could just take this down, fly back up, take the other one down, and fly it back up, but... Trick is, I want to try to get this somewhere... Or if I have to... I guess I don't need a merge block if I can just weld it on. Don't remember losing a landing gear on this. It's odd that there's one that's off there. I dearly love to merge block them together, but... Because I'm a little concerned downforce on this is not going to be all that great. We may just auger both of these guys in, and if that's it, I think that's... I don't think it's... That doesn't have a survival kit on it, I believe. But this, I believe, has a survival kit. Or at least something on it, right? Do you have, pray tell, something to keep me safe? Your turrets. Survival kit, yes, okay. So if we do die at this point from augering my grids into the ground, we will be safe. Maybe I just... You know what, the hydrogen's going to have the better force, the ion's not. Let's treat this with a little bit of sensibility here. Or attempt to, because if we do this... Can't grind down net block, that won't work, but... Grind down, or build up there and grab the grid from that. Close to being aligned, and I think they'll keep the hydrogen system out of... No, it won't. Safer. I'm trying to find a place to not have those thrusters burning down the solar panels. Let's flip that around. YouTube seems to think you're streaming about... Yeah, I know, it's because I forgot to switch the... It wasn't YouTube, actually, that's the OBS source. Forgot to switch that off of last night's setup. It's okay, I can try to build Battletech. I'm not very good at building complicated mechanical things in the game, but I don't know, how hard can it be? 12 hours later. Thrusters off. Suspect the miner will have better luck doing this. No parachute on that grid. And honestly, if I lose that, so be it. I'll still have you. I am not above sacrificing the rover at this point if I have to. There's the base. Alright. Yeah, the merge block would be better, but I definitely don't have the components for it in orbit. And I want to get this guy down there because, well, A, I need a miner for the, certainly for getting... Crimey, the atmosphere there is hideously bright. I need a miner to get at the platinum a bit easier on the surface and start opening up some bigger drill holes, basically. And what I've got down there isn't really ideal for the environment. Whereas this, I believe, will have slightly better luck. Let's see if we'll be on course, on target, or not. I mean, really, at this point, I want to kind of keep the rover ground bound at this point. I've got power generation on it, but it's not great, so... let's see. Alright, yeah, we're gonna need the damps at this point. It's trying to tip over backwards on me. Titan's such a fun, easy start. If I were trying to do this on Earth, I definitely would not have any faith in the hydrogen in being able to do this. She is fighting me. I'm gonna constantly keep pitch going down to keep her from doing a backflip here. Yeah. Okay, yeah, she can barely do it. Actually bodes pretty well for her being able to operate on the surface like this. Just need to pick up some more ice. How are we doing? Oh, God, yeah. Assuming the oxygen generator is set and not on. Nope, it is on. Okay. We're sipping... no, you're not on. That tank is draining. What's the deal? You're filling. Alright, let's see if we can just get you down then. Okay, no stance. No. You settle back down now. There you go. Should make you a much happier little drone. Right? Oh, come on. Really? You're gonna pull that on me, huh? Oh no, a Gatling gun that had no ammo on it. Oh dear, whatever shall I do? It's okay, Bob's got it. Section parts, didn't need it. Weight savings. So beautiful. Would have been nice if I could have just gone straight through. Alright. Yeah, you're... huh. Yeah, you're... That's why. It's like, why am I not getting any thrust out that direction? Well, for good reason. So we'll leave you welded, or set there. The metal grid's over here. That's not happy. Because we're out of cobalt. Not. Alright, that's a bit better. Let's see what we got. Do you have a detector on you? Yes, you do. Sweet. And is said detector maxed out? Yes. It's bad when the ship provided by the game developers already comes with everything maxed out. Cobalt. In a hideously tiny vein. Of course. These didn't break anything too important. Just a thruster, that's all. You know. It's not like I set off a torpedo in my hangar or anything. No big deal. Let's see what we got. I didn't name a ship and then crash it into the ground, so, you know, we're good there, too. I forgot the small steel tubes in there that were supposed to go up in orbit. I just brought those back down. It's real good, Farrell. Some of this while we're down here. Okay, so I'm gonna rate this ship, little guy, as this ship is pretty good on Titan. Not a bad starter purchase. Potentially just slight problem with the hydrogen tank, aka needs some more O2 generators on this thing. I don't think you're drawing. The engines are not on, so you're not drawing that. It's purely all thrusters it's doing that. Problem is I need a dock for you. Would you like to give me a connector here? I just stuck two of the ships together. I've gone back to the plant, pretty much. Yep. Just brought the rover back down. It's parked over there, getting some sun. And we've got this guy down here because I want to bring up some additional supplies. Picked up some more contracts. You just... there. Build that for me, Bob. That would be great. Switch lock and on off.
Ship fuel critical.
So... dock, turn off the hydrogen thrusters. Alright. That should give the tank something a bit to work with now, because the base O2 can fill it up. Oh yeah, look at that. That's much better. He burned through a lot of O2. I'm not exactly thrilled about that. Especially because I'm running on next to nothing for uranium on this thing. Oof. That find... okay, the reactor is off. Good. So we were running completely off battery. Awesome. That's what I would prefer. Alright, you've got plenty of stuff for that. Let's see about getting another ship down here. While I do that, let's also, before I forget about it, queue up some stuff that we are going to need. Some more of that. What else do we need to bring down? Small steel tubes, silicon wafer, which I know we've got. Platinum. It's gonna take a while to get that, but look at the payment for that. 7 mil. Could jet pack up to get the rest. Well, it's definitely am. I just want to see if I can bring anything with me. 721 bulletproof glass, 37 detector components. So what I should do... pull over that 31 that we need, right? 31 silicon wafer, yep. And then we just need 721 glass to go with it. That I might actually be able to bring down to the surface with me. Let's also grab you before I lose you. Be like, dude, where's my rover? And I'll have no idea. And then things will get very complicated. Now I don't ever have to worry about trying to remember to turn on and off the parking brake just because I go flying with this thing. Could put some more powerful thrusters on this. I swapped out those side rotors that I stuck on there and some O2 gens. That would certainly help. There you go. Alright. Oh, okay, yeah, you're finishing up all that stuff. Okay, that's great, Bob. Thank you. We are apparently out of silicon. No, we're not. We're not. No. Crap, we are. Holy crap. I had like 200 in there. Oh, well, I guess I went through 411 of it. Well, yeah, there's all sorts of mods out there that I could get to increase the ore detection range, but the goal of this is to play this mostly as vanilla as possible. I have a few things on here, like for instance, I have my toggle crosshairs on, I have the screen gunk be gone, I have armor, the clean armor with the edge remover installed, but I'm trying to keep this relatively low-end mod-free, so that way I know I'm really getting the best sort of approximation of what the game's going to be like after this is all said and done. Stick you back in there. You have nothing else? You have to have tons of... There we go. Alright, so I need 921 of those, as I recall. Nope, 948. And now Pharaoh must do maths on stream. Alright. 48, 27. Ooh. Just pull it off and not get the number wrong. 31 silicon away for 80 platinum, which I'm not going to have anytime soon. Bulletproof glass, which is not done. 37 detector components. I probably don't have. I have one. And I'm pretty sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're going to run out of silicon for that. Oh no, that's the silicon for the glass. No, we actually are going to have enough for that. Hectors are dirt cheap. I'm going to fly back up to orbit. I might as well take some things that'll help fill contracts with me, right? Alright, power's good. That should be good. But just for the heck of it, pop it off. Where's that station? Why does it manage to lose that thing? There it is. Alright. You need more powerful, more thrusters. Probably the best way to run it as lean as possible. The problem is the ions don't really work that great at this point, so I'd rather stick, for the rover at least, I'd rather stick some more hydrogen, or stick some hydrogen on there. I'm kind of power low anyways, because it's one of the reasons why in the stream description I said I need to get to, I need to get out into space. There should be some asteroids around here somewhere that have uranium. I don't believe that spawns on planet like Platinum does for Titan. So I'm not worried about picking up that Platinum, because I can take the miner over down to that signal once it's refilled and pick up all I want. But, all that said, I mean, everything that's got a reactor on it right now basically has it on for emergency power. I've got plenty of ice down there, so I can run hydrogen generators if I want. That'd be utterly insane to do that, but I can. Just because the return rate on burning the amount of energy you've got to put into creating the hydrogen in the first place, to then go into keeping the generator going, you know, it just doesn't work. The math doesn't work out. You get so little energy out of that you just, it's not worth it. So that's why that freighter and that large ship are my next two things, so I can start running some uranium around, hopefully. Just find it. I need to get another mining ship to take with it, basically. I really wish Keen would do something other than rely on that programming block to close the doors. I realize they're on the they're on this whole, well, you know, programming blocks are experimental mode stuff, but there's a reason why we have door scripts and for that sort of thing. Platinum, bulletproof glass we don't have. Detector components we do. Finished. Available. Acquisition. 26 oxygen bottles. Sure, we can do that. They don't have to be full. Computers, I need lots of silicon, so sure. Holy moly. Woo. Woohoo. That is a lot. But 3.4 mil. It's not like I can't fill it, it's just going to take me some time to do it. And since the acquisitions have no time limit, why not? Let's also check factions here. What do we got going on? Because I've got Merciless up to 30 now, and Divine down to 30. Okay. So my guess is what we've got is Keen has got the 10 factions, and what they've done is split them down the middle. So you've got two that provide each major function that they've done, and balancing one offsets the other. Or going up one brings the other down. Kind of feels a bit artificial, but I can't really think of a better way off the top of my head to do it, so... What I would like to see them do, though, is if this is the case, then it would be nice to know... It's kind of hard to determine on this screen, okay, if a Divine Maker ship shows up, because they have been around here, are they going to attack Merciless shipbuilding? There's no way to know if these two guys are at war with each other, basically. And as such, there's also no indication on the screen that as I get a faction in one area, that I'm not going to just get myself killed in another. Alright, we got the freighter for... It's supposed to be used for stuff going in and out of orbit. Let's see what you're sitting at right now. It's spare stuff, so I'll grab that happily. Hydrogen tank is mostly full. It's because I got into it and refilled my suit. The two generator is on and ready to generate, which must mean, are we out of parachute, a little bit of ice, a little bit of power. Not a lot, but better than the other ones. Alright. Small reactor, small reactor. They are both off. We're on batteries. 18 hours on both. Parachutes. We shouldn't need them. I hope. Oh boy, do I hope. Also, it looks like this one's wired up for boost. Okay, this one's nice. It's wired up for launch. Not quite for launch stabilization, though. That would be kind of nice, but... Alright, yeah, we're not heading down to the alien planet. That's a mistake. Oriented, and... Yes, on the level out. There we go. I'm also assuming the Atmos are on. I don't like that they've hidden those. I need those. And they should be visible. Oh. I'd like to see if they even have any effect on the planet here, honestly. This is the beta again, Jackhammer. It is indeed. It says in the top right corner there. Or at least the first version of the beta. And next week is probably going to be back with the, let's see if we can damp with just the Atmos. If not, I am prepared to turn on hydrogen very quickly. Next week we'll probably be using a copy of the next beta to come out, if it's still viable. Yep, there we go. We got Atmo. Granted, we've only got down to about 400 meters, but we've got it for short range. I've already bounced up there. Come on, you. Get down there. This is the better way to fly right now, so I can keep a nose down attitude so I don't go bouncing out of the atmosphere again. Yeah, that's not too bad. 28 minutes on battery on the Atmos. In love with that. Not the fastest braking thing in the world, but then again, what is? Break it real quick if I do a nose stand on it. Hey, alright, I'll give you some hydrogen to slow down. Good grief. Take a while to figure out how to fly this thing in the atmosphere. It was bouncy. On the other hand, I'm not going to need the hydrogen assist to get out of get up into orbit from this thing. Alright, let's put it down over here. Where? Ah, I see they didn't provide... You've got braking atmos, lift atmos, and thrust atmos, but no steering atmos. That's what the deal is. I just need to burn a little bit of that to put in the right altitude, attitude. And I hope you have landing gear. So I have to rely on you to lock. Oh, you're not auto-triggered. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's save a little bit of power here. Turn those off. Yeah, forward, backward only, and up. Okay, good to know. Still need the attitude control thrust. That was a lot of platinum we need. Platinum and a lot of computers. We need silicon, we need silver. Pretty sure I don't have a lot of silver. Go out of my way digging it up. And as for computers, sure. So put that in there. Take this guy out. Make sure you're... Let's see, do you have enough? Got enough O2 on board. Just not a lot of power in that backup reactor, but the batteries should be good, right? Those get topped off. Oh my god, only smalls. Ooh. Criminy. I'm gonna do a little bit of a trade-off on weight here. Just because I think I'll feel a little better having it ever slightly higher number of batteries on board. Small batteries make me nervous. They run out in next to no time, it feels like. Nice idea to keep put in, but it's another one of those investment things. You're not going to finish up on this either. I need more than a handful of power cells, and with no silicon, those are SOL at the moment too. Let's see, we've got a silicon waypoint over there with nickel magnesium, silicon over there. Silicon and the silver are pretty much on top of each other too. Hydrogen. Let's see if we can do the same thing that we can do in our jetpack. It's back on. I see a little pit here. Ah, there we go. Not a pit, I see an asteroid. Space rock. I attacked the space rock. Small batteries are good emergency power, granted limited time use, but used right they will help in a quick minute. Yep. Well, I mean, it's the same thing with the full-on battery in our use of, oh, I need emergency power, oh, slap it down, we'll get a little bit out of it at least. Even if it, when fully constructed, it's still got a little bit of charge in it. But, yeah, it's kind of the thing I'd rather see. I'm trying to think of a good way to describe it, because I was about ready to say modular batteries to a certain extent, but they are like that. You can stack up enough of them, they just don't really look right when you do that. With limited sizes of, you know, 1 by 1 or 2 by 3 by 3, I don't really have that much of an option for making something that looks good and fits in a good spot at the same time. Kind of like how in Minecraft you can do connected textures, basically. Let's see if I can I want to make sure I'm not completely wrecking the vehicle here. You can do connected textures on glass and everything in Minecraft. It's computationally expensive, but it does look pretty good. It's a nice effect. Same sort of thing. It'd be interesting if there's a way to do connected textures in Space Engineer. So you say I put 2 blocks together and they form a specific texture for that size. I can get more, but I also need silver. Don't want to press it too much because I know I'm weighing a veritable ton right now, probably. Assuming I'm not. How are we doing? Power container's full, connector's full. Are they full on every storage location right now? What about the drills? Drills are not full. I can pick up a little bit of silver on this run. Or at the very least, open passage down to it a bit more. Can't exactly mine up a ton of silver is all. And I would get rid of the stone, but actually the stone is somewhat valuable right now too. Drills are still not full. Plenty of room left. Alright. Six years and 4,000 hours, and you've yet to build a large block miner, and I do not blame you because they're not worth it. The large grid drills are useless in this game. At least with the small grids, I have a little bit of lack of overlap between these 2 locations right now in front of me, but at least I can clear a space big enough for the ship, pretty much, to squeeze through. The same cannot be said about the large grid miner, because the large grid miner on a left-click drill only eliminates exactly 1 clearance for 1 block. It does not clear blocks like this where it does multiple blocks in a pattern around it of the equivalent size. And that is a problem, because you can't do a very good miner short of just covering a ship with drills in the front, aka the Vishnu approach. Well, the Vishnu approach is not exactly conducive to making a very attractive looking ship. There's home. 76% H2, 75. Can coast the rest of the way here. Let the not coast, but manually burn the bottoms. Okay, no. You're not going to hit that light again. Enough of hitting the light with this ship. Yeah, she can carry this stuff fully loaded, but barely. Handling characteristics leaves something to be desired at full load. Lock on. Hydrogen off. Let's get the ball rolling. Silver, I don't really care about. Get all that stuff first. So we'll clear through the stone pretty quickly. So I figured I'd grab that first, because that is, or keep it. That's generating silicon at a pretty decent rate already. Okay, game, could you not do... Come on. I wish the game did not do that. It's really annoying that they have not found a way to keep this from going double, adding more space that it immediately... Why are they even adding a space when this row takes one item on anyways? Or is it because it was... No, it was removing the last item there, so it was bumping it over. If something goes in there, then just draw the extra row already. Stop taking it out. You're gonna have a pretty good chance of needing it, so why not? Doing on production. Oh, hey, look at what's breezing through the system right now. We need another connector out here. Here's your connection point. Your bottom connector is the rear engine. Alright. Should be able to clear this. In. And I need Atmos as well. Oh, good lord, she leaps off the ground on Titan. Connector. Switch lock and on off. That shouldn't be a problem to break free from this thing. Alright, Hydra's off. Keep the Atmos off. Generator on the ship only, please. Oh, yes, we need to load you up with a bit of ice. That's better. Also better that they finally decided to show me this stuff was happening. Well, yeah, and again, to be honest, I'd be much happier with the azimuth drill mods at this point, but nope. Tank on this ship is filling up good. Alright, that gives me a place to put a cargo container there. Wow. And labeled it ammo container, because it's the first thing gets blown off the ship. That makes sense. Alright. Let's grab bulletproof glass. Grab our computers. Taking a little excess with me up to orbit so I can use it up there if I need to. What do we need? 721 glass, specifically. Well, according to the inventories... Yep, we got enough. Okay, so we got the glass. We need 26 oxygen bottles. We've got the computers and the silver ingots. 26 oxygen bottles. I feel like I should make 1,000,000 of these things almost. We're gonna run out of nickel potentially there, but that's because the game is saying, "Fooled you. You got plenty of nickel." Cobalt for days, silicon for days. Yeah, I didn't even need to go after the silicon ore. What I actually picked up from all of that mining in stone was good enough to finish off that contract. That's kind of screwy. Let's see. Want bottle and large, and of course the O2 generator has been so incredibly helpful and filled up everything. No, it didn't need to, because the way that trade works. Remember that for next time, when the O2 bottles decide they want to be made. Have the O2 generators off. Alright, 7 per 21 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, enough. Plenty for that. So we're down to the silver ingots and platinum. And platinum, we're actually halfway there, too. I noticed. We're in reasonably good shape on that. So, I think we're going to take the mining ship out for another run here. Over to the platinum and see if we can line up a little bit. Where's my platinum signature? Signature? Signal. Platinum. Off to the right. I think you can turn off the... Yeah, I could turn off the refills, but then you wind up needing the refill because, you know, your bottles need refilling, and that's when things get interesting. Let's see, we got a hole here already. No more of these silly little skinny holes for me to worm my way down. No, sir. We have a proper mine shaft here. So yeah, let's get down there and forget about the eye adaptation piece of it. Thank you, Keen. Right, this is the one that was annoying me because it was in a stupid thin ore. Tiny little thin ore vein. So we can do widen the gap. Same thing here. I could be ejecting the stone automatically, but I can use that for all of these fulfillment contracts I have now. So why get rid of it? It's free resources now. Oh, come on, Grid. You can turn that space. I know you can. This isn't a bad little mining ship. I'm pretty happy with this little guy so far. Gotta come up with a name for him now. It's a happy little ship. We call him. I mean, color doesn't really matter that much. I could repaint him if I want to. I could lock the gear. Let's get a toggle for that there. Turn the auto lock feature off. Call it the Bob Ross. Okay. Well, it did have a happy little accident landing on the planet, so that does kind of fit. Alright, how much platinum do we have on board? Quite a bit. I mean, we're not even filling up the drills at this point, but that's... No, not 32. 22 there. Keep going. While I'm down here, basically. Especially because if the game decides to give me any more gravity component construction quests, I can complete those pretty quickly, too. So, on the other hand, it could also be called the ship that is bound to have a happy little accident if I'm not careful with it. Seen a lot of sparks going off down here. A little bit of... That's better. Voxel remover there. That's better. Back in the free air. Well, not exactly air, but... You know what I meant. The soup that I would rather not prefer to breathe at this point. The auger, the groundhog. Yeah, it is a little bit of a groundhog, the way it pokes up its head up out of the hole, if you want to go for the Caddyshack reference. Constantly trying to smash into things and wreck them almost. No, that's so much, but it does wreck things if I'm not careful. Overshot. Ah, like a glove. Alrighty. Not too bad. 73% of that, and sitting on not so great results there, but at least the system was able to finish off the batteries for me. That helps. Alright, let's... Refinery. How are we doing? Plenty of gold. Perfect. Transfer that over to the large cargo container as we go. Was 121,000, 122 just to round it off. Perfect. Platinum next. What? Okay, I don't know what idea you just had for what you're doing there, game, but apparently I did a click drag and it said, no, you went to click on a button over here instead. That could really makes sense. How much platinum do we have? Just almost 30,000. Yeah, I'll take that. Let's see. Working on that. It'll take a while. We got the old modules though. In the interim, look. Normally called the aggressive miner, but shall repurpose it. It is now the groundhog. Look. Perfect. Okay. That you are You're on your inventory at this point. Large cargo container really should not be done anywhere near full, so... all of those parts, the only thing we're missing... ooh, I actually need more than that for silver. 1627. Okay, let's... pop our silver orb over briefly. And let's see. Assembler's got some in it. We can beg, borrow, and steal, and... yeah, it'll take a little while, and then it has to go back over to the platinum when done. No, not the cobalt. The stone when you're done with that. Then the silicon when you're done with that. Then you can worry about the cobalt. It's funny, you have nothing but problems while you're waiting for cobalt to process, but once you've got it processing, you never seem to need it again in massive quantities unless you're building 20 million blocks of heavy armor. No, I'm not burned by PvP in that regards. Why do you ask? Some more power generation down here. Four, 5, 6, 7. Those turbines are messing with each other. Got a steel plate. Say it ain't so. Couple basic refineries to burn through all the stone. That's true, but I can get the better yield with what I've got. Let's talk steel plate. I have no steel plate. Roger that. Go at it, game. Good old wind turbines. That's right, you need some interior plates to build those. We got them. Let's install microwave ovens. Custom turbine delivery. Planning ahead for a second refinery here at this point. This also... Bob, I know you've got range out to there. Could you actually start doing something? Pretty handy, you know. What are you actually... You're thinking about it. You're thinking about it. Well, you have an atmosphere, you can have wind turbines, and amen for that. Otherwise, I'd be at a point where I'd be having to say, I need to expand my refinery setup. I can't do anything until tomorrow morning when the sun comes back up. And I can charge the 20 million batteries that I've built. We have... that's what I'm looking for, Bob. Bob says we're missing things. Motors, construction components, girders, and interior plates. I can help you with that, Bob. You're kind of catching up a little bit there. 1,000 motors, 1,000 girders, 1,000 interior plates. And what else did you say you needed? Construction components. That we're going to need 2,000 of for sure. Back on armor when you're done with that. Not worried about running out of iron anytime soon. We're worried about running out of power. And let's see, at this point, base is fine for power, technically. I wish I had more information on power generation right now. Look at those done. Half the armor plates. Actually, I should order it more because the refinery I build is going to eat up a ton of them too.
No fuel.
Eddie, you keep saying no fuel. I don't think you understand what that really means. Come on, Bob. Crate right next to you. Right, no interior plate to finish it. Alright, now I've hit that lovely peanut butter point in Space Engineers where you're just kind of sitting around like, and what am I supposed to be doing now? Because I'm waiting for 20 million things to build. I need another assembler too. Or more accurately, I feel a need for speed, which I can't satisfy at the moment because I don't have parts for it. Didn't build the speed module originally because I was concerned about power consumption with the yield modules on the refinery and everything, but the wind turbines up there in progress should eventually finish up. It's about 1 million things build. I need to address another weakness. Actually, you come out. Build-a-bob. Oh, that's definitely not tipped the right direction. What the heck? That's more like it. Now I can build me a nice chair that I can't sit down in. And think about what else I need to also order up, because that just did quite a bit. Displays wouldn't hurt. Certainly some more computers, because I'm probably chewing through. Oh. Just realized something. Bob will have been drawing from the large cargo container. Alright, I'm okay for now. Right? Have anything? Computers, 974 of them. I think I just drew below that, didn't I? Oh, yep, certainly did. Alright. That was a good idea. I need you off the base. Otherwise, you're just going to keep burning up supplies I need. I'll have to transfer everything else over manually. No big deal. We'll be fine. Should have plenty of it anyways. Refinery, switch to platinum, please. Oh, good grief, really? That pedantic about this, aren't you? There. That's more than enough. I have really confused poor Bob here. You're asking me to do all the work, but I have nothing to build with. Granted, to be fair, I'm asking him to build bulk quantities of this stuff, but... Yield mods don't affect power, speed does. Yield does affect power, actually. We could go over here and... It very much does affect power, as I recall. Check the refinery. Alright, so you'll see right now, required input 560 kilowatts. If I go into the yield modules, turn those off, go back to our refinery real quick. Interesting. It doesn't affect power. It used to. Power efficiency 100%. Let's turn those back on because I'm processing platinum. Refinery. Power efficiency. Okay, yep. Nope, you are right. I was mistaken. I could swear that used to actually affect the power efficiency. It was either the power efficiency or the length of time it took to actually refine. Well, this is down to construction components. We'll have those in just one moment. Right? In a little bit. It's working on the girders, then we'll get to the interior plates, and we'll start getting some assemblers, turbines on. I'm sure that's one of those many little things that they've tweaked about the game and then not actually really said anything about. You know about when they, what version or when about they stopped taking up power? Kind of curious. There we go. Now we're starting to get something useful. Found something to build. Working on that one, then you must already have... Okay, yeah, so we're just waiting for those to finish. Those are outside of Bob range. Can't be outside of Bob range. Am I out of steel plate again? I am out of steel plate again. You guys just can't get enough of that stuff. Cancel that out, start working on that. See those turbines up and running. There we go. They're starting to get more on. At least a year ago since I started, they haven't affected power. Huh. That's interesting. So all they just do is free additional resources without eating up any power. That... Honestly, that feels like a bug to me more than anything. There you go, we got our speed modules up on production. So that'll help that out. Holy crap! Yeah, these... Well, that's gotta be a bug. That absolutely has to be a bug, that the speed module is not increased. That should be sucking up power. This is just nothing there. 2.8 meg. Alright, let's try this. It's 2.8 megawatts. Maybe they're not hiding it in the efficiency section. Turn them off. Yeah, there you go. They're affecting the assemblers, certainly. That is a legit thing. That's why I'm glad I got the additional turbines building out here. Okay, so we've got all of those up. Let's take a look at... Okay, so yeah, 361. Yeah, we should have enough for another refinery. Might have to turn off the speed modules, but can live with that. Good old conveyor tube. Some interior plate, please. Don't do that yet. Speed, and then how's the refinery gonna flip around in this section here? Modules there, so the... Yep, so if we do our... Actually, in a good spot to begin with. Bypass where that is, and go straight to the refinery there once we move the ship. Alright. That'll help things out tremendously. Let's kill that off. Get some grids out of the way. Skip some of those. I need the computers for the trade thing. Let that do that. And no. Refinery. Platinum's doing good. Let's do this then. 56. All right, getting there. Power efficiency one's reduced the power, but yeah, it's weird that the speeds are doing power, but not the yields. Is power that helpful for it? The reason I'm going 4 yields, I mean PvP it was all about 3 yields and 1 speed to try to get that perfect balance. I'm just trying to eke out literally as much as I can out of everything I'm mining up, so. Bob, what are you missing again? I'm building components in batches here, and you're just, like, not doing anything. Steel tubes. Okay, great. Yeah, we're gonna need lots of that, too. Cancel that. Basic run of those. There. Pull out those computers we need. I think it was 200 for the most part. Come on. 1,000, good. That should be enough for that. 903. Engineer was actually able to just wiggle the ship here. Look at that. Gravity is so nice on Titan, I can actually lever up the craft with it. Or can I? No, I can't push you though. Should we really need off that? 721, so we're good with what we've got. The oxygen bottles, the computers, 972 we got. Silver ingots we've got. So we are literally just waiting on platinum and everything going on down here. Two Bobs are online though. Except that one. What the heck do you need now, Bob? Also tube. Alright, we'll get it eventually there. Platinum. Show me what we got. Another 20. Alright, let's get the other refinery up and going. Just move you out of the way ever so slightly. That should line up properly. Yep. No, you don't. Control panel off. You don't get to refine anything, my friend, not until you got your yield modules up and going. Then I'm only going to use you for stone at the moment. What are you waiting on here? Superconductors! That's because this is making me ever so slightly nervous. Would you like so? Hello, Mr. Assembler. friend for you. Fun part is I need to find a way to lift all this into orbit once I get it built. It's going to be interesting, because I'm going to take this whole base with me. I'm going to have to build all new stuff up top. Small steel tube, eh? I built the assembler. Speed module up, and action. Operative mode, please. Goes in. Yes, no. Connected to the network. What's your deal? You look complete, or are you not? You're complete. Uh-huh. That's the reason why I don't like the way they've got this set up for cooperative mode stuff. 100% self-explanatory sometimes. Tend to use a 3 yield and 1 ore for uranium and platinum. Oh, well, platinum I definitely want all the yield going. It can take as long as it wants, as long as I get as much as I can out of it as humanly possible. Let's see. So you're waiting on superconductors. Could be a problem. That's much better. Oh, I'm hearing grid problems. That's unhappy grid power there. Which means I should disconnect the miner before the batteries drain out. There. So the last thing I want to do is have those batteries run dry. What can we do for quick relief here? Considering I don't have tons and tons of resources at the moment. Keep wanting to put in windmill, darn it. Where you're wondering about the efficiency, it's really, I'm suffering more from low altitude than anything. It'd be far more efficient if I sat down and built this higher up, but I mean, these are far enough apart they're not interfering with each other. They're actually a block further apart than they really need to be. The big, giant, spinny wheel of death. Getting there. Building all the cross bracing because I honestly have no idea what to expect from potential faction visits, so the more I give this thing a little bit of extra structural integrity, the better off we are. What I should do is I should get the inventory, the NDS inventory script running. That would come in very handy to start keeping some basic supplies on stock here. How's that going? Should be certainly enough to turn on the second refinery now. So you've got all... No, you don't. Still missing superconductors. You have no gold, I bet. No, you just haven't made enough. Add a steel plate as well again. Turbines are working enough that I wasn't hearing speed modules complain there. All right. Could place solar panels in between them. I could, but really then I'd also have to build a battery bank onto this thing and start saving power for the night and everything. And you don't really need it. A couple of extra turbines does the job nicely. I mean, that and the turbines produce far more power than the solar panel puts out. I mean, a solar panel is... Oh, what is it? 32 or... Between 16 or 32 kilowatts, I think, off the top of my head. Somewhere in that range. Whereas each turbine I'm dropping down is like 300 kilowatts. So that's the better part of like 4 or 5, at least, solar panels. And it works all the time. Whereas the other one only works during the day. Let's check our platinum, because it's the only other thing I'm waiting for. Platinum. 21, that's what we need. I got 84, and we need 80. Okay. I got that. You are not on yet. Let's turn Refinery 2 on. I mean, minimal yield at this point, but that's just because we don't have more gold, I'm guessing. Or what in his name is going on down here where I'm running out of... I know it's 20 per, but I've queued up like 200 at this point already, and they're gone. What other module are they going into? Because they aren't going into the speed modules. Weird. Finish up. There you go. Might as well get as much as I can out of that. Take that over there, so that'll be... There. Some short-term grind, or refining targets and some long-term one. Alright, I would say... Really annoyingly placed cap on that cargo container there, honestly. Pretty as it is. Platinum. Let's turn the hydrogen off for the trip up here. It's such a nice, easy way to get out of the Atmo. Hey, Hellrats. Nah, solar panels can't be 300k. No way. The turbines I'm looking at there on Titan were topping out at 360 and could max out at 400. I don't remember the solar panels being that good. But, you know, I could be wrong. We'll double check. Can't hurt to build a little tiny solar farm off to the side. Said skating along at the edge of gravity is not exactly much fun either. I should just be slingshotting straight up into 0G before I start thrusting towards this station, but so be it. Could I? Oh, well, that's not that far off. I'm liking that. And sort out. Alright, where's the connector? Oh! Manual docking procedure successful. Don't need no stinking damps. Apparently, you Keen, open the doors. Open the pod bay doors, Keen. Platinum. That should be a fair amount. Bulletproof glass. Yes, please. Oxygen bottles. Here, I'll even throw in some free oxygen for you. But it really did much. Computers. Done. And silver ingots. That was a lot of money I just made. You got left 21 displays, 870 steel plate, 32 oxygen bottles. Good lord. Whoa! That's a massive payday for that. It's kind of sad that the higher acquisitions don't rate you more reputation. I'd like to see them tweak that a bit more. What else we got on here? Huh. Well, that's interesting. I did have hauling contracts there, but now they're all gone. We're gonna rip for that little bit. Merciless shipbuilding up to 40. Makers down to 40. Yep. We have in stock. I'm carrying around an 11 mil in my pocket right now. That would get me a starter ship Mark 1. Good lord. If I bring up... Hang on. The magnesium contract alone will do it. Hell, I can buy every dang ship that's in here at that point. I've got a magnesium signal down there. Keep forgetting it's not a ramp there. Alright. Annual disembarkation. Stabilize. Okay. Live without the J.J. Abrams lens flare, please. Scary thing is that's with the screen going to be gone already on it. I forgot I didn't even have that on last week. And I logged in today to play the game, and it was absolutely horrible. You could not see anything on the screen, just about. The lens flare was so big and bright. Anyway, we have this invention called shades and filters. You may have seen some of these filters in action in computer games. Still apparently used to be a bug. You can build over 150 meters from voxel and use a script to follow the sun to give max output all day. Well, you can, it's not a... the script to follow the sun's not a bug. That's a actual legitimate thing. don't think I added... I don't think I have solar rotors on here. I don't remember if I added that or not, but... I have... I'm trying to think how close I am here. Yeah, nowhere near close. Air engines on. Having to remember that the nickel cobalt bookmark here is my actual home. Yeah, sideways stress on this leaves a lot to be desired in Atmo. A couple Atmo engines would be kind of nice on this. Okay, locked. And off. So, magnesium, you say, contract. We can get some of that stuff. Magnesium point out there. Not far off. In fact, I haven't even drilled a hole to it yet. Oh, Keen's nav ball definitely. You just have to kind of learn how to read it, really. I mean, there's some cases where, like right now, it's completely useless. Like being able to orient in a given direction when you're facing anything other than natural gravity is kind of pointless. But when you're in space, reading the nav ball means you know exactly where your thrust is actually centered technically. Another thin vein. I can feel it. Maybe a little thicker than the worst thin veins of gold, but she's gonna take a while to drill this out. I'm glad I've got the ship for this. Alright, let's see if we can clear our turning radius. Drilling into silicon in that direction, so I don't want to keep going that way. That way lies madness. I've got plenty of that for now. Like right now, I can tell I'm managing to level out a bit down here finally. Unknown signal. Why, that could be anything. Could even be a boat. Swing by it and see what I can get on my way back, because I don't think I'm going to need to mine down here too much longer. Mostly because this vein doesn't seem to be very rich. And I'm probably filling up too. How are we doing? Oh, we're not into the drills yet. If I'm not in the drills, I'm not out of space. So you have to also remember, I do not have any torpedoes, obviously because no uranium, or missiles I should say, and I don't have any NATO or personal ammo rounds aside from what I've got on me from the start. Where is that signal? Actually, no, you got 60% hydrogen. That would be foolish. I can jet back up to that quicker. If I lose the mining ship, I lose the mining ship. I'd rather not. What's the deal? Are we out of... Should be out of ice. Plenty of it in the O2 generator. What's up? Are you back to... Ah, crap. I didn't want to... you think you're in one spot and you're not. Hydrogen tank. You're filling, but... No, you're draining fast. Something's wrong with the O2 gen. Get you RTB ASAP. Preferably without overflying the base. Anyways. Why is that tank not filling up? Gen. First off, let's fix that. It's starting to drive me nuts. There we go. Aimed properly, so we can stop not finding you. It's like you're not even doing anything. Tank on board. This is barely filling up. It's off. The base O2 is not doing a dang thing either. What in... I've got 3 oxygen generators on this grid. They're all on. Just have that many tanks that are running low? What's the deal? Alright. Well, tell you what. Have at it, Bob. Alrighty. Ice, 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 baby. Split evenly. Now suddenly you're managing to run away, but this O2 generator is doing nothing. This O2 generator is doing nothing. That is the stupidest bug I've ever seen in this game now, where I have to manually drag ice within its own inventory to get the O2 generators working. That's a little stupid. I'm not thrilled with that. Batteries, I'm not worrying about down here for power. Honestly, that is a thing that I'm not too concerned about, really. If I'm generating excess, I'm generating excess, and I don't really need an extra set of batteries, because honestly, the batteries in this game are kind of borky anyways. So, if I'm running stuff through a refinery and I'm hearing power shortages, then that's where I know I'm having problems. Let's see, we've got decent amount of stuff sitting around here. And... oh, right. That's what I was going to do. I was going to get the magnesium going. It's like, what? What am I doing? Where am I? Who am I? Margarine, magnesium, Farrell. It's both made into the refinery, split evenly. No, I don't think so. You can go over there. You can go over there. Keen, please stop trying to automatically sort your crap. I prefer my method of sorting it. That's stone real quick, too. Got a decent amount of platinum saved up already. I think I don't have to worry about refining that right away. As I recall, the magnesium is going to burn through pretty quickly. It looks like a lot, but it doesn't refine at a very good ratio, so we'll get that done. So we've got that set. I don't think there's anything that the Bobs are waiting on right now. Certainly hope not. Yeah. So, we're just down to fulfilling these. Easy power, 32 oxygen bottles. We can get those going. Crap. I can get those going, but I gotta turn off the O2H2 generators to... or actually, I just need... auto refill off. That should stop it. Production 32. Oxygen bottles. Apparently short one bit of... very tiny bit of gold for that. I'll have to go out mining for some gold soon. That's the oxygen bottles we need. Steel plate, 870. I know I've got them already. Let's get those out of the way then. $870. Stick that in the wing mounts for the time being. I'll have to disconnect this and make sure that the work anyways. I should get you in the main cargo. You know, from watching Splitsy's stream, that the game has issues if you try to put some of the stuff that you need to sell in areas that are not accessible. Game do not like. Just as the game does not like the fact that I'm trying to put oxygen containers in. You're gonna keep dragging it back in there even though I've turned off auto refill on every single O2 generator. Oh, Keen. Why? Really? And yet you still have a bottle here for refill bottles. You're all... It's bad enough these guys pull in enough ice to completely clog up their inventory that they can't refill anything, but apparently now, even though you've got them doing that, they will still happily pull crap through. Come on. Get them out of there. That's flipping ridiculous, I tell ya. Make it consistent. 5, 21, 26, more than enough. That's the O2 bottle contract. Steel plate is fulfilled. 21 display. I hope I can fill that one. I don't think that'll be too much of a stretch. Oh, hey, look, I've got 27. That's done. And now I just need the magnesium powder. Tell me how we're doing on the magnesium. Yep, that's gonna take a while. Split them up. May actually have to go over there and grab another bunch of it. I don't know. Right now, honestly, a little more worried about gold. Patch. The fact I don't have any does not bode well for future builds. Silicon, magnesium, gold. There's gold over in that Dar Hill. Alright, that's the spot where I crashed the miner. And I went down in a weird spot to try to find gold, but it says it's there. Oh, alright, this spot, yeah. Yeah, there's gold here, ha ha ha. Tiniest vein known to space engineers. It's kind of like EVE Online in a ways, where EVE, you eventually get to a point where you basically just can't do anything without a spreadsheet. And then inevitably you can't do it without 2 spreadsheets, and then 5 spreadsheets, and before you know you got a whole folder on governing how you're playing the game. EVE, you can't do anything, or space engineers, you can't do anything without having to mine a million flippin' rocks now. It's not easy, because this ship was not designed to work in this tight of a space, I think. Alright, I think I'm clear enough to use a right-click drill. Just give me some more room to maneuver in. It's like you don't want to right-click drill because you're going to get rid of ore, but... Well, that's the problem. I haven't been out to space to be able to actually... Well, I've been out to space, but not like space proper. I don't have any asteroids just yet. And I'm a little concerned about what's out there. Because when I was playing the beta on an offline world the other week, I did run into things like patrol drones that were, for whatever reason, coming after me. And they, you know, obviously I didn't have Lucas's stuff loaded up, and it was kind of a little confusing, like, wait a minute, where is this thing coming from? Especially because it was managing to track me with no broadcasting. You know, no antenna on the ship, no beacon on the ship, personal antenna turned off, and yet it somehow followed me across 2 asteroids to the point where it was actually off my GPS and not showing up, and then suddenly, miraculously, it was back. So there's that oddity, which I have not quite explained yet in the beta, or managed to run into yet, so it's a mystery. And then the other mystery was one of these unknown signals actually turned out to be something other than a skin pack. Unfortunately, because the game was in offline mode, I can't... Or not offline mode, well, it wasn't offline mode, I was playing it without the internet because I didn't want the game to try to pick it and update it. It's a very special rock there, Keen. Lodged debris in the voxels. That's... Oh, Keen. That... Kinda almost feel like this wouldn't be a bad spot for a base as I'm hollowing it out. there anyways. Probably more silicon and nickel. Got plenty of it. Lift, please. Lift, please. Some lift would be nice right about now. Fill up the thing. Oh, crap. I came very close to filling it up. Alright. We're gonna have to baby her home. Because, yeah. Fully laden, she is not gonna slow down much at all. Got barely enough to stay in the air at the moment. I'm not throwing stone away, Nibbles. Stone's perfectly valuable resource now. Well, I haven't had to mine for iron. I've got an iron mine sitting right next to the base, and I've barely tapped it. I don't need iron. I've got stone. Behold the power of stone. The power of stone compels you. Stone is no longer something to be feared or simply thrown away. Valuable resource. It's gravel, that's the blasted problem still. Okay. You go into hover mode there. That'll work fine. Lock on, off on that, and find all the ores. Alright, we're up to not a lot, and we've already gone through half the magnesium. This is going to take a little while, isn't it? I think what we're going to do is give this a chance to refine down some more. Turn on... Actually, detach that first before I turn the O2 gens on. Otherwise, that's going to be asking for a world of hurt. That's the Atmos for now. Straight line so she won't drift. Find the O2 generators and turn it back on. Okay, Jack in the Box on 3. Oh, that's ridiculous. 14. Waiting to turn on the hydrogens until I know for certain I am in a good spot. Goal is to just straight little burn. 5 space. So my thrust is a little high, evening out. Good. Damps off. Lucky, maybe just a little bit of a boost out of the Atmo every now and then. I keep it right at the edge of the bubble here. Hey, Storm. Any opinions on the ships yet? Well, well, for starters, they need to fix the slimline miner that they've got, small grid. That one's definitely got some gyro problems on it. Literally, that they fall off the grid the second you modify a block on it. So that's a bit of a problem, especially because where they fall off, they're tucked in tight enough that they just clang out, which is not a good thing. So that one needs to be done. The ships themselves aren't bad. I especially like the fact that this one's actually kind of limited in what it can do with the Atmo engines. To a certain extent, because it does encourage you to say, okay, what can I do to improve this a little bit? But it definitely does... Come on, a little bit further up. Let's get that crosshair right in the center of the nav bar, please. Or nav ball. There we go. It does feel a little bit, in light of how difficult it is to find uranium, that the emergency reactors really kind of need a little more of a fuel supply to them. So I'm not 100% in agreement with that to a certain extent. It feels like they're underpowered. And if you're buying a ship that... I don't know, again, it comes down to the fact of it feels like it's underpowered, but then that encourages the player to go through and say, okay, what do I need to do to improve the design, basically? I've got this cool base, now what can I do in understanding the game better to actually make it function properly? So it's like a 6 of one, half dozen the other kind of thing. They're good-looking designs. I certainly would not naysay that. These are pretty functional for what they do. The fact that there's a decent variety of them so far, I certainly would not mind seeing some more variety, and I imagine that once this is officially released, that we'll see some potential modding uses for it as well. Being able to buy certain kinds of ships, like... Certainly, you could take Lucas's stuff and... Oh, hey, here's a faction that'll sell you a glitchy. Only she's designed to work against the corruption. So stuff like that could be interesting. On docked and... If you're drawing... Yeah, you're not drawing H2 from the base. That's kind of annoying. Yeah, they're decent ships. I mean, that's why I still want to go through and... Even though I'm gonna... Once I get that magnesium done, I'm gonna be turning in a contract payday that's absolutely ridiculous, but... Yeah, I can buy every single ship in the store. One of each. Yeah, I'm kind of liking them. What? I have 32 of them. Don't tell me that. No. Get to tell me that. I pulled all of them over here. 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. I have 32 oxygen bottles. They're all there. They're in the inventory grid. They're in the large cargo container, which is accessible from that location. No, they're not. Where'd they go? They're in... the gate. Keen, fix. Please. Just, no. That's the most painful thing I have seen you done at this point. That you cannot properly pull from a subgrid, a sub-inventory on the grid, even though it's perfectly accessible. I know there is something in the, there's something in the list of things that they're talking about with the next beta that included fixing what the contract block will consider for connected inventories, but I'm not 100% certain that included the O2 generator. I think it was a different block they were concerned about. There's our reward. Steel plate, that's in the freighter. Display, that's in my inventory. What else you got? What do you need? I will fulfill all your needs. Gravity components. I can certainly do... Actually, is there any real point to be doing any more acquisition contracts. Certainly not that one. I don't want to go through that hell again. That doesn't really pay off much. I mean, the medical components pays off decently. This is due to the grav components. But I'm kind of interested. We are up to purely 11 mil. That didn't seem like we got much out of those, unfortunately. Oh well. I go for the magnesium contract for the big payout, or do I go for... Gravity components is a pretty easy one. Except I need gold to build gravity components. Ugh. I don't want to split the refinery time. How long the mags take to refine? Yeah, they'll refine quick enough. I mean... I want to take a search mission because the amount of hydrogen I'll blow through on a search mission is going to be pretty exorbitant. Should do is... Tell you what, let's grab spectator camera. Let's see. Okay, they're still going. I mean, I'm not surprised, but the amount of stuff we've got in there. Tell you what, hydrogen off. Leave that in the spot there. You have for mobility at the moment. Generators are off. Detectors on, which probably shouldn't have left that on. Off. Basic refineries off. And assembler or two on here. There it is. Off. Tank. Full, so you're hydrogen based. Take a risk with it. Gens, we got 1 and 2. You're on. You're on. Thrusters. A master on off for those. Alright, we got an RD. Let's figure out where we're gonna go here. The RODW beacons over there, and rogue dwellers, components, tools, gases, and contracts from the outer regions of space directly to you. 10 kilometers away, it's a decent hop. Let's see if we run across any, potentially any sort of interesting things along the way. Last 6 years, least used block in SE solar panels. Keen is trying to get people to use them on ships. Well, problem number 1 is they've got to go on the outside, so they're the first things that get shot off in battle. Problem number 2 is while they've reduced the resource requirements of it, they're still a little on the hefty side for that. Problem number 3 is they've never given you enough energy, really, to do ship-wide stuff. You need a actual proper reactor for that for the most part. Problem number 4 is their mount points are annoying. You either have to mount them flush to the hull, or you have to mount them directly connected to 2 blocks on the hull, or 1 block, and then hope that block doesn't get shot off. Which in turn also makes them increasingly easy to snipe off of a ship from a distance. The first things that will get snapped off tends to be the solar panels. They're great as a backup power source, basically. Like, if I have a ship parked in an idle, I would rather have a solar panel on it, at least, to keep the batteries topped off, but that's really about it, honestly. I don't really feel they work that well compared to a proper reactor. Not only that, but then you also have to constantly... It's like this, whatchamacallit? Oh, yes. Perfect. Like that, great job. Alright. I mean, it's just like, oxygen farms. I don't need to carry around, let's turn off the hydrogen there, we don't need it. I don't need to carry around, ice to generate O2. I can have an oxygen farm. But then you're constantly having to rotate to keep the damn thing in the sun, and so either coat your entire ship with oxygen farms to use them, or you're just, yeah, it just doesn't really work in my opinion. It's a great idea, both the solar panel and that, but... Alright, what do you got over here for contracts? Anything interesting? Wow. Thrillsville on that one. Look out, we're going to be rolling in the cash there. Escort contracts, a couple of those. Hauling, nothing. There are a lot of them, and some pretty large ones, too. It's tempting to actually go work on some of those. Oh, boy. Oh, that's interesting. That's an accepted contract for a different faction. You'd think if you're looking at a contract block for a specific faction, it would be specific to that faction. So if I came over here and handed in the magnesium powder quest, would that then effectively get reputation with these guys? Alright. Try it. Sorry, I'm letting you guys breathe vacuum, but I'm in a hurry. Must go faster, must go faster. Alright, last known location of signal, 13 kilometers away. I have 23 minutes-ish to find a signal within 750 meters of this location. It's impossible to do on Keen's gray space skybox. We'll see if it's any better on their old default blue. Help. Oh, it's thrust right, not jump out of cockpit. I realize those two keys are very close to each other, keyboard, but... I think it might lock to the faction that originated the contract, but you can turn it on any contract terminal. Okay. So here's my first problem with these search missions. Right off the bat, I'm losing about 2-3 minutes to get out there, because 15 kilometers, short of having a jump drive on this thing, that could get me out there pretty quickly. You're losing time off of stuff. Alright, let's go to manual and even out the course. 4 kilometers away. If I can get a acquisition for station I have no idea exists with a deliver here, or accept this preposterous and wasted hours of my test playthrough. That's interesting, because all the acquisitions I've gotten have been you're doing it on the station that you picked them up at. I mean, at least so far in the testing I've been doing. Let's start slowing down. think I might have spotted the grid. Because here's the other problem. You're kind of dependent on... I've got to follow movement, and I've got to look for it out the corner of the camera because of the render trickery that they do in this game. Where literally... I've got to go slow enough so I don't see the speeding dust past the cockpit here. And I've got to look at it in the corners because of the render distance. I saw it there. I just saw it. Alright, hang on. Let's orient. And I literally only just barely saw it too. So it was off in this direction. Saw something that definitely looked grid-like. Like a box. Ah, there it is. That was lucky and only because I was able to pick it out against the blue backdrop there. So really, you're supposed to see that? I like how the jump animation is spinning around there too because of that. Alright. Now the fun thing is, I can see the large grid at least. Hell, I can see asteroids out here now. But can I see the tiny little small grid 3x3x3 block? Not easily. Alright, so that got me some rep with those guys. No, I knew they were tiny, John. It's just that's the problem, is they are just, unfortunately, way too small for what they're really kind of expecting. I wonder why I'm heading out to this asteroid. It's because I could pick up a little bit of rock and very quickly fill that that 5 nickel requirement since I've got a basic refinery on board here. It will not take much to do it, let's be honest. I might as well, right? Mining carriage isn't really going to do much to me if I run across it, so... I mean, that's the funny thing. It's like you've got to violate Keen's own... You've got to basically do what you should be doing, which is, A, I'm running screen gunk be gone, so I don't have gunk blurring my vision. B, you have to have the post-proc effects off, so my vision isn't completely blurred at the edges. And C, you've got to be running a different skyblock so you can, or skybox, so you can actually see the stupid thing against the background of space because of their blasted, whatchamacallit, paint scheme that they used on that. So it actually kind of stuck out ever so slightly. But you still have to be within a pretty... That was, what, 200, 300 meters of the reference GPS point for that to be able to see it. So it's... yeah, I don't know. The jury's still out on that one, I suspect. We'll see what they've done since they've... I suspect that's probably been a lot of the feedback they've gotten is, how the heck is anyone supposed to find this crap in that short a time period? Do for Rogue Dwellers up 5. Yay! Oh, this is even more confusing. So apparently Rogue Dwellers, if I increase my faction, my rep with... How did I not... How am I at 45 there now and 47 here? I did a mission for someone that didn't... that made the Divine Makers ever so slightly happy. This is going to make things interesting. Can someone map out the relationship between all these factions, please? Because I'd like to know. Thought search would be a ship that was attacked for a search and rescue, or power down hauler it ran behind schedule, or something interesting that's not a stupid drop pod. Well, I mean, they kind of said in one of the search missions, oh, well, this person had a, had sensitive cargo that they you had to drop out the back and run. So they weren't able to turn off the hydrogen there. Might as well save it a little bit. They had to cut and run and yada 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 type thing. I thought the asteroid was going to be a little closer. This is with the dense asteroid fields actually turned on right now, believe it or not. Doesn't really feel like it. Yeah, like, or a shipping container fell off the ship type thing. I mean, even a 5x5 large cargo container with some greebling stuck on it would have been a little better. But then you would have had the players who are like, oh, I want to get into this thing and see what's in there and rob it and ha 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 ha. Alright. Ore detector. Let's see what range you're set to right now. Max. I think it's kind of telling when you've got a keen ship spawning into the game and the ore detectors are pegged to the max on both the large and small grid versions. Some ice over here, which would probably not be a bad idea to pick up while I'm here. Clearance on mining here. Straight ahead and to the top. Come in at that angle. Feed me, Seymour. Lame ball and chain gaming for that. For all the song references I've managed to sneak in tonight, by the way. Did their video for It's Not Easy Being Keen. It's gotten me stuck on Deo, Banana Boat song. Turn that into a Keen thing. And other song references. It's all their fault. Darn it, it's stuck in my head now. That should help me out just a little bit. How are we on? Oh yeah, we're loaded down for ice now, and we've got some refining we can do. Now, I don't know if I can operate the refineries on board without draining ship power. Looks like we're good at 3 hours, so I don't have to engage the emergency engines just yet. So we're finding that, and it should go pretty quickly anyways, it's stone. So good news, we'll have plenty of nickel for that one mission. More ice, but I think I'm okay with that at the moment. Let's switch to survey mode here. A bit gentler on the ice consumption. It's nothing but a giant ice ball. Seems like. I mean, it looks like that should be some sort of ore proper right there, but I don't want to get in close. It's going to be nothing because the voxel texture will res down. So I should be seeing something there. There's a spurt mayday flashing off to the side too. Well, this rock was a giant bust. I mean, great. I fueled up the space miner, but that's really about all I did. This looks like it. Nope. Absolutely certain I'm not picking up anything on this rock. A hand drill, huh? Alright. Don't want to get too far from home here, because obviously we have things that we still need to do, so I guess that's actually something useful with keeping the, keeping an active contract going for acquisition. Because it means that I have effectively a permanent GPS for that, deliver items there. For that station I need to get back to. I want to park this guy in. I'll just jetpack over to the other one, probably. Come on. Even out the course. The beacon's only good for 20, and I'm seeing it 25, so... Said this is set to abundant. Yeah, it's set to high density, believe it or not. I mean, some of that's because it's scrubbing space around the planet areas. I think this one's probably because it's treating Titan as having a much larger atmosphere when it doesn't. That would be my guess at any rate. They just didn't set up to have permanent whatchamacallit on it. Sounds like the refineries are pretty much done. Turn those plunge away. Everything you need for a basic setup. Except... It's got a gravel filter on it. Really? Actually put a sorter on this thing. And it's wasting power. You annoying... Quit wasting my power. Yeah, I'm really kind of looking forward to what they're going to do with the modding on this. Especially because they did say in the notes that they're also they're looking at increasing the moddability of the safe zones to a certain extent. So that could be kind of interesting. It could also be kind of evil because I could see Lucas doing something like, haha, I now have a real invulnerable shield for my invulnerable ship. You want to have fun now? Guess what? The exiled engineer now has a, whatchamacallit, a safe zone generator on a mobile grid somehow. Or has a protected base that you have to go after, which would be interesting. Not exactly sure what the fight mechanic for that would be. Da, 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 bum, 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 bum. I do like the fact that you can also literally play hole-in-one with the grids on these things, is in just plonk into it and nothing happens. Clunk. Just, nope, you didn't land and lock to it. Alright. So I don't want to put it right on a landing pad because that takes up a valuable spot for my stuff, so... Just lock you down there. Oh, and lights. Don't need the floodlights on. Already turned off the refinery, so yep, now I've got some extra parts up here with an assembler platform at least. Let's see if you have given us any contracts that are useful in the interim before I go back down. I'll say one of the things I definitely foresee being useful from the mining scene is setting up a companion space station outside of the safe zone, dragging in a teleporter into this area, and being able to set up a teleporter link down to the plant below. I think that'll come in pretty useful. Position. You're offering another magnesium powder acquisition contract. Oh my god. Sure! You're gonna offer 2 of those? You need a lot of magnesium. Someone's off fighting the alien war right now. Girders I can't make up here. Construction components I can make up here. And so I'm gonna have to go back down to the planet. Sure, why not? And since I'm out here, get for search. That's the best one you've got. All right, we'll try another one. Now we're gonna go out on jetpack on this one because I believe I'm pretty set. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good for that. So power's good. Go out on foot. Last known location of drop. There we go. Just because I can accelerate quicker in the jetpack. We'll see how it works with just the jetpack, too. Can you add a block to the safe zone station? Nope. That is explicitly blocked. You can't grind anything, you can't build anything, you can't weld anything. You can take Bob into a safe zone, and you can effectively grind down a little bit, but it works very weirdly, and you'll find that the Bob doesn't right now in the beta work very well once it gets out of that safe zone. Is it a bit? Trying to do finer tuning navigation with the nav ball there. Yeah, the 2 down is for failure if I screw it up, if I don't find the grid in time, because it is a time-sensitive mission. Apparently there are other rocks in this area that have now also spawned into. The base is down there. They're definitely reachable. I mean, actually, if anything, that's what these search contracts are good for. They get you out into space and they get you spawning some more asteroids in the world. Even with the high density, it doesn't feel like they're really... They're definitely out there, but they're not like... Maybe they're misleadingly far away from each other, it feels like. 2 kilometers. Found it. And the only reason I found this one is I saw there's a light on it that's blinking, and it caught the corner of my eye when I was going along that way. It was in this bright spot of the skybox. So yeah, switch back to the blue skybox if you're having problems actually finding grids, apparently. Tiny little thing, anything on it? Buttons? No, nothing. Can I abort your jump if I sit in front of it? Yep, can't get grids. Can't get skins either. Darn it, it didn't deliver a skin for me. What a shame. Going. And signal. Oh, we'll pop over and see that. I forget what the heck the unknown signal is that I got in the other game. It was an offline game. And it was like a special event signal almost. Like it was going to give me something special other than a skin. Don't know what the heck it was doing, but unfortunately, because I didn't have the network connection at the time, it would not actually do anything for me. Couldn't actually get skins because there's no skin there. No system to talk to. Yay, leopard helmet! Hallelujah. Anything useful I can turn into on my quests? Actually carrying gold on me too. How do you like that? ground down the parachute or the canvas, didn't I? Yep, oh well. Alright, quick little detour over. Where is my drop-off point? Lost my drop-off point. No, I have. There it is. So bright, I can't see the crosshairs against it, that planet. Ah. I'm heading somewhere in the right direction. The East carry uranium. Yeah, and then they got rid of the reactors and went to the 1x1 batteries. Which don't give you a jack squat. It sucks when you're on a planet because it was a great way to at least get some basic emergency power on the planet. But, oh well. No, we must have uranium rare as all hell. Force you to constantly return your vehicles to a depot to be recharged. Or carry around a hydrogen engine, which is hideously overconsumption or overconsuming of gas, which you also need to be able to maneuver in space to any decent degree. So then you have to carry around so much ice to keep your generators going and your whatchamacallits, your thrusters going, that you can't carry anything else. There's 2 spurt maydays out there, actually, that are popping up. I'm noticing. Not just one. Changing the unknown signal to drop currency is an option. Could be interesting. That would... Well, if you're dropping it with a parachute, I mean, I'm not gonna raise the raise it as being a negative thing that you're possibly emulating DB Cooper to a certain extent, but you know, just saying. All right, so we got everything back there. Did you generate any more contracts while I was out? Acquiring mines, want to know. Show me everything you've got. None available. Okay. I just wonder what the cooldown on that is, basically. So we're getting a decent amount of contract points out here, but yeah, I think it's time to head back down to the planet. See where we're at with the magnesium. Yeah, you'll close the door on your own. You'll be fine. I don't know why they just don't put an auto close feature in the doors. Just hard coded into the door that you can. It's a setting you can set. I don't get it. They could do so much to turn a setting like that on. Just have a door automatic set it. It's a setting in the door controls that the door. This door will automatically close after 10 seconds, and just do it at the individual door level. But then I guess they have to constantly check the doors and query them on a regular basis. You are right, Kimball. I mean, on the other hand, mining is effectively the equivalent of Minecraft fishing, so going around to all the asteroids with an ore detector that's got no blasted detection range on it. You guys thought I was gonna crash, didn't you? Yeah, I got the atmo thrusters on. Mama Farrell don't raise no dummy. Did not go to the flying school of Shack, ergo you want to crash. Yeah, that's a good point. Don't drive around with my HUD off. That's really all it takes. Just saying. It looks better without the HUD off, but it is a game. Alright. Lock you up. And that off. How are we doing down here? Any luck? Some scrap I can throw in Refinery. Down to lots and lots of stone. Some of that gold in there. Just so I can find something. And empty out the miner, because it looks like I'm going to need to go on another magnesium run. Yep, so almost a full load of magnesium. I need to make a couple trips for sure. Do I want to modify you? Your power systems are holding with the extra batteries, but that's about it. Can we get that tank on refill, please? Just because it would be appreciated, game. I know I'm draining out of the other ship to do this, but I'm guessing you've gone back into the I'm not going to do anything mode. Yeah. That is the stupidest thing I've ever seen this game do. Not kidding. Just stupid that it is magically, because these grids were unloaded, stopped processing the O2. Welcome back, Nibbles. Alright, we have our tank off stockpile now, right? Just make sure. Yep. Lock. Let's go for some more mining. I mean, at least it's not that far away from the hole here. Get to this relatively quickly. We haven't exhausted the worst of it, so it's a fair-sized vein at least. I'll give it that much now. Having seen the true depth of that wall. Has to do with the hydro engines? Nope, because the hydro engines on everywhere, all these grids are off. They are hard off at this point. If I could remove them without threatening the structural integrity of the ship, I would, because honestly, they are just not even worth it as emergency power, the way the amount of hydrogen it consumes. It's like they're kind of like the buzzard ram scoops on Star Trek. With the whole idea, the big spinny red thing on the front of the original series Enterprise, and the the red blurs and whatnot at the front of the nacelles on more modern designs. That's all supposed to be, oh, you're supposed to be able to, if you run out of deuterium for the impulse engines and the antimatter reactors, you're supposed to be able to flip those suckers on, and you'll basically pick up interstellar dust, pretty much, and suck it in. Eventually, you'll get a little bit of hydrogen. You're not going to get a lot of it, but you'll have something to be able to further process, and in a pinch, if you have to fill your part of your fuel tanks, then you can do it. But it's not practical in the space engineers. The amount of generators you need to do anything decent like, say, run a refinery and a bunch of assemblers to recover from an attack that just took out your main reactor, yeah, you might get a little bit that goes into a battery, but that's it. And it's not like it's not even intelligent enough to recognize that, okay, I'm meeting my power needs, I can run at a slightly better efficiency level or something. You know, maybe I can turn down the fuel flow. There's no way to turn down or adjust the fuel flow to the thing. So it's like, I'm supposed to be expected to use this and generate more power than I could ever possibly need, but not have to actually regulate that. And now I've got to port around a big giant battery to actually properly get in and out of places. Speaking of getting in and out of places, it's a lovely hole I've got myself into here. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah, that's better. Let's get that hole a bit wider. Didn't even realize I dug that deep in there. That's why I mean, really, it's... And I can't even blame the hydrogen generator, honestly. It's the state of power in space engineers to begin with. It's not a very realistic... There's no... It's very simple how it's been implemented. Like, you can generate more power than you need, fine. It's perfectly fine. You don't have to do anything to deal with the excess of it. It just disappears all on its own magically. Perfectly routing exactly what it needs to ground while keeping everything else perfectly there. It's not 100% really up there as far as realism goes, but, you know... Again, it's a case of how much are they having to trade off to keep the game engine running at a decent speed. Do a bit of... this thing doesn't exactly mine downward very easily. Just help me out. How much am I carrying right now? Before I go completely batty. Almost a full ship. Should be thinking about getting up out this hole soon. Need a full load. Actually, if anything, this is the one time I would say, yeah, I do need to consider getting rid of some stone. In fact, let's even do that here. Picked up some silicon. Basically, I'll just turn the ship around and hit another seam so I can let that despawn. Without picking it up in the drill heads. And you'll be able to just pull out the back too here. Actually, no. You're... If I shove you forward, you're going to be in a lot of hurt. There's a lot about space engineers that does kind of need a bit more attention to detail, but again, it also comes down to sandbox environment. I mean, some people want that kind of realism, some people don't. Some people will look at this trade system and go, hey, I don't want to have any part of this, I'm here to just build things and make it look pretty, and it's perfectly acceptable. It's how you play the game. So it's always a case of there's going to be some compromise between realism, gameplay, and whatnot, especially between what's possible with the engine. Try to recognize that, but it's sometimes hard. I mean, we were having the same discussion with Armco on the fact that we've got the official Minecraft server for this Discord now, and people are like, well, I think maps are cheating if you've got mobs on them. And it's like, yeah, I've got them on, but I've got them set the dots. So, well, I can already hear these mobs already, so it doesn't really do anything. Yeah, I know I go around a corner, I'm going to hear something in a mine shaft, but I'm probably going to know that in general anyways. And I don't know if they're above or below. I know it might be above or below me. They might be on my level. I don't know how far. Don't know how far up or down they are. And that's just the way I play the game. I play the game with the, I know a lot of people get pissed off these days about the accessibility function that does the subtitles on the screen. Well, that's how I play. I have limited time to play the game, and I really do not want to be dealing with all sorts of crap going wrong around me and not being aware of it. At the same time, also, like, mini-map mods in general, it's like, okay, yeah, I can see that map is telling me, oh, there's a mine shaft over there. Well, you should be playing with the caves turned off. And it's like, no, because the game already gives you native audio cues that they've even turned up to an annoying level now in newer versions that tell you, oh, you're near a cave. Well, I have a map that does that for me. I still have to find my way down to it. I don't know what level it's on. But if I've only got, you know, a handful of hours to play the game, and compared to most other people who have much more time than I do, and yeah, that's what I'm doing to make up for it. There's people who've fully coated in diamond gear, gone to the nether, managed to find, not nether, to the end, gotten their elytras already, and it's like, I'm barely even getting out of iron at this point. Because that's just how much time I've got. So don't talk to me about cheating. That's unfortunately how I play the game, and it's not like I'm horribly exploiting it. Like, if, for example, an exploit, cheating, would be, oh yeah, let me just use an X-ray mod that replaces all of the native textures with something I can see through. So I can see where all the diamonds are in the world. No, you don't see me doing that. Nice as that would be right now. Took me forever just to even get a frickin' fortune enchantment on the pickaxe. Alright, locked up. People like quality of life upgrades. Exactly, and so it's the same thing with space engineers. A lot of people will say, no, Bob is cheaty. Well, Bob is the reason why on streams like this, I can go through and not have to basically spend all 4 hours of the stream mining plus building. There's a... Eddie, quiet about the fuel, please. You're not helping. There's a reason why we tend to favor that mod. Just because it actually makes things doable in a stream. That magnesium get pulled out. Oh, because the refinery's there. Dope! Same grid, please. There's much magnesium on that pull. I'm a bit disappointed in that. Also, way too much stone. Why are you complaining? Oh, yeah, 1 hour based on that. Okay. That's better. Okay, 2 hours if I turn that off. The grid requires more power, and I can help it out. Can't detach you. However, I can put on some more wind turbines. Can you get rid of that one for me, Bob? I really don't need that block down there. That was a stupid decision and not one I made willingly. But simply misclicked. Okay, we got 2 more branches that we can put in here before this thing officially becomes ridiculous. Rid of. Don't need that anchor to the tower now that it's effectively set. Yep. I screwed up on that end. Oh well. Now I'm gonna see half a dozen people. No, don't go back. You must place that perfectly. Yeah, this side's off too. Supposed to be 9 between, or 8 blocks and build on the 9th. And one over there is actually, I believe, built on the 7th. 6, 7, no, built on the 8th. Yep. Even that should be doing too badly for efficiency there. Grinding and welding is difficult. It takes a lot of time that could easily be spent on upgrading, making ships, stations, plus if you miss one conveyor tube, yeah, you've nailed it right there. Is also the simple fact that, you know, we're human. See, now all of a sudden I can see all the asteroids around here because I've been out far enough to generate them. Before I couldn't see any in the area. Yeah, that really made sense, game, that I wanted to put a block in mid-air that far away. Nice try with that one, but no. Alright, just to anchor that grid to a second point in the ground. In case I lose that anchor somehow, which I hope it does not happen. Does that help the power situation any? We can also turn off the hydrogen so we're not using crap here. That'll give me a little bit more, right? Then again, I'm sure if I check... Yeah, I see what you're doing there, game. Nice try. 800 meters away, or a kilometer away, and it's having problems even maintaining that. It's just ridiculous. Alright, look, can we get rid of just some of the stone real quick? Burn through that nice and fast. I'm just looking to pick up... There we go. Get the magnesium off the ship here so I can take it out. Tanks are filled. 3 hours. I'm going to pick up some ice. As I see that we are running low now. This won't take long. Crosshairs you don't use anyways, not in the center screen, and the welder and grinder don't work at the center screen anyways. Well, the grinder and the welder I've got my own issues with because they don't work at close distances. It's like, you know, you've got to actually back off a little bit from that spot there if you want to use the grinder. No. It's got to be properly positioned 3 feet away from you. You can't grind anything at point blank range in front of your dang nose. It's like, you know, OSHA may say you want to be working a safe distance away from any equipment that you're working on like that, but the reality of it is it would technically work. And there are so many other graphical alignment bugs in this game that don't really... There's a certain level of realism you just gotta say, okay, yeah, sure, whatever, but... Having said that, and having just had the argument of, but the power grid's unrealistic. Case in point, gameplay, unique. Sandbox. Everyone's different. Should have... Nope. Need a good amount of ice. Yeah, let's see. And I'm stuck with a little bit of silicon in the cockpit too. Lovely. The O2 generator on this grid is running. Must be out of steel plates again. Oh, you poor, poor grid, you. Oops. Ground was closer than I thought. Clunk. Alright, let's fill the O2 gens up again. Expect that will help greatly. so that probably just took care of all the O2 generators on the base. Hoping. Or not the O2 generators, tanks. Topped off, topped off, topped off. Alright. I mean, right now, in order to throw, for instance, one backup generator on this thing, I'd have to have both these guys loaded, running non-stop for one engine to work. Short of doing a, magically suddenly find additional plates from. So, scary game. Expecting it probably managed to move something else in. Let's put that through real quick. Oh, I know what it is. It's because I kicked the stone over. That's why. Freed up enough to actually be able to do something with it. Like, deal with the production queue that's probably short on stuff and is still short. How much Mg magnesium? We are at 1.6 and 1.0. Gonna drag this into the small cargo container to keep it out of the general population. We are not even halfway there. Yeah. Some of this stuff out of the way. Actually, no, you're just going to kick it back out again, aren't you? Oh, now, yeah, now you're going to manually empty that out. Uh-huh, yep. See how it is, game. Now you magically decide to route it into a cargo container. Alright, what do we got? The magnesium powder, both contracts are up. Actually, yeah, we're not even a quarter of the way there for both contracts. Iron ingots, easy. Construction components, easy. Girders, easy. Not much point into going crazy on some of this stuff. That'll take care of the rest of it. So, yawn. Yeah. Combat ship. Don't have enough to really throw one to get or buy one, unfortunately. Personal. Nothing I'm gonna do up there is really going to get me a lot of money aside from these big acquisition contracts, but even those ones I've got that might get me 100,000, 120, 130,000. Can really basically do nothing to the money there. Alright. Factions. What are reputations looking like? Made it to 52, guys. This is 6 hours of playing, and that's the best I've been able to nudge the bar. I think I'm a little worried about that. Well, let's see. We need some stuff to orbit with us. Not the computers. I ordered it. Right, you haven't gotten to it yet. Alright. Don't think I can pull up that many girders up in one surface to orbit launch. 294 girders. Let's see what we can do. Oh, 294 will fit. Still leaves plenty on the ground. $702, 708. What was the exact number here? 710. Perfect. Wait a minute. Hang on. COM PO Search is broken. That is called a okay, that's annoying, Keen. So here's the problem I've got, and I could swear this is not a problem outside of the beta. That's been abbreviated in the component name, so it's not component, it's comp. Well, comp is kind of a useful search term because it also pulls up computers. That's... I could swear you used to just be able to do CMP-O and it would work just fine, but maybe I'm wrong. Stranger things have happened. Iron, 146. Yeah, let's get the 100 on that, please. We got the 3 acquisition contracts we can do. While I'm waiting for all of that fun stuff to refine. Since I don't need the... whatchamacallit. Okay. Back. 4. Yeah, they changed the way they titled things. So yeah, let's just break all of this, manual search. That's kind of a bit on the east side. All right, so we got a decent. No, we're in the water. All right, well we got to play it where it lies. If we can get a slightly higher angle of attack. Second stroke here. No, way too high. That's not going to get me much distance at all. Got me out of the worst of the atmosphere, but not quite enough to make it there. Construction component, gravity component, reactor component, and computer. Yeah, all of them start with COMP, the least useful term. Then what do you expect from a game where you literally search for cock and ass? As in cockpit and assembler. Alright, let's see if... cut the distance in half. Kind of split the difference on the angle and I might make it out, or skip a little bit at least. Yes, no. This simple par 3. What I need something to actually throw me towards the station. I'll just go up from here. More or less straight up at this point anyways. You can search for what you want, the game doesn't judge. No, it just feels extremely stupid to be doing a stream and the 2 search terms are usually cockpit and assembler. And you abbreviate those to the first few letters and you get something that's not necessarily considered family friendly. Alright. Wish I could get into a console and actually look at the settings on these lights, because I think they're actually set up properly. As in, like, not a hideous setting for some of its stuff. Alright, accept the contracts. We got the iron. All yours. The other reason I'm only able to do this is because I've got the increased inventory size, so keep that in mind. Alright, so we got our 2 big ones. Let's take that mining ship out. I'm not just right. Bring up anything extra with me that I don't need. Nope, I'm good. Alright. Since we have plenty of ice on board for the time being. Let's see what we got for rocks potentially a bit closer over the base. In that direction. Quite a ways off. Couple. I'm thinking it might be something pretty close to... It's closer. Yeah, that one's looking a bit closer. We'll go for that one, see what we can find. How are we doing on power? Because I haven't docked this up to anything. 5 hours, current output. Is there anything on board I can turn off that I haven't turned off already? Assembler's off, the refinery's off. Connector's on, but they don't really require too much power. The sorter is off. Drills are not running currently. The gravity generator is off. Gyroscope we're running okay on. We need both O2 generators running. We've got oxygen tanks and hydrogen tanks. I can draw from those while I'm in here. Your turret's not doing any good. Spotlight's not drawing power, even though it technically is. Survival kit is... I'm not turning that off. 60 watts for a text panel. Outrageous. We have jump drives, but you're telling me that we can't have an ultra-efficient text panel of sorts? Come on. Yeah, that's the best part, is the oxygen-hydrogen mismatch. Okay, so let me find a oxygen generator. No, it's an O2H2 generator. Well, let me find the oxygen tank. Oh, yeah, it's an oxygen tank. Not an O2 tank, not an H2 tank. So then when you search for hydrogen to quickly get all of your hydrogen thrusters, you inevitably manage to find the hydrogen tank and bind that into your groupings. But I will admit it's nice that they've added the icons into the list of everything that's in, you know, your systems list. I like that they have done this. It's a lot easier to be able to tell what is. That's not a beta change. It's a different change they did recently, if I remember right. It just makes it easier to actually see what you're looking at instead of just a list of names, and you could name something anything. Like, for instance, I could not pull off the boom boat again because the boom boat would be showing warheads instead of the completely innocuous parts I disguised them as in the parts list. You know, I don't think this cockpit's... Yeah, this cockpit's not piped up. I'm burning through O2 in here. What? Did... do not like, do not like. How close are we at? Yeah, we're close enough. Alright, I'll deal with it when we get to the asteroid. All you really have to do, because there's a connection point up there, is just turn this blasted cockpit upside down and you're good. Get all the hot bars in, unfortunately, but no reason why this can't be piped up. Really no reason. Yeah, it's going to turn the ship effectively upside down, but it doesn't have anything serious that would cause problems with that. Alright, in fact, I should probably turn those off so I'm not burning any background at the moment. I should have left those off on the way over. You, and you. Tell me you got something on this rock. Patch from tiny little space rocks I have to watch out not hit. That looks like an ore patch there. Silicon I'm willing to bet. I'm on. Is that... Or is it just a lighting glitch? Eh, it's a flippin' lighting glitch. Alright, let's change real quick. I'm gonna lose the O2 that's in there. Can live with that if it means turning you Yep, so you can actually use what's already on the craft. Supply, and they don't even put the frickin' flight scene in. What kind of setup is that? There we go, high and warm, and I'm refilled. What a novel concept. And now the drills are actually below me, which they're actually a bit more useful, because now they're not cluttering into my line of sight. I like that even better. Alright, let's get your top bar back up. Hydrogen on off. Need the... on off. Individual separate toggles for the O2 gens, because I don't necessarily need all of them running. And for the hydrogen engines, because I don't necessarily need both of those running. And you know what? Let's just put everything on a toggle down there. And it leaves off the connectors, so we'll put those on. Switch lock. Off. Switch lock. On off. There we go. Okay. So I can turn on one O2 generator to refill the tank as we go. Not necessarily burn out everything. See, I look at that and that says to me in my mind's eye, oh, that's silicon. That has to be... Oh. Here, please. That's gotta be something mineable, right? Nope. Just dang close to silicon. Interior to this asteroid, but I'm picking up nickel. Also 10 kilometers away from that Mayday beacon, too. And now we've lost the nickel signal. That's helpful. Nickel and iron, and that's it. Two things I can get by just poking at rocks long enough. Right. Suddenly, space rocks. I'm wondering if it's also they set it up so that there's a minimum distance between outposts in the asteroids. That might explain why we weren't really seeing much of anything. And Spurt Mayday just popped up again there. I was actually trying to see if I could track it down. Eventually. Rock formation up there. And now, ladies and gentlemen, another hour of keen asteroid anatomy brought to you by the letter Y, as in, why do I have to run around looking for all this stuff in space? What a nice little probe system. Make it extremely expensive, but just something that you can fire off and it disappears from your inventory, but does something in some way to generate all of the necessary asteroids, which technically can only be done by players, so I know this mod is already impossible. And does a basic survey of it, and then tells you, oh ha, I found XYZ on this rock. Wouldn't that be nice? Alright, survey mode. Got a hole here. It's an outcropping. Trying to get in a little more manual flight time here because I'm certainly going to need it on Saturday. You're not picking up anything but ice down there. Not a bad thing. Why right now? Never mind. Here's the Spurt Mayday. It's about in that direction, 12 kilometers. We're near a rock except that one. I don't think that was the one it was on. Big giant space rock with no ore. Just a little tiny bit of ice, and that's it, huh? I know I'm not circling far enough away for it to be a problem with detection range. That's like danger close right there, as far as skimming it goes. Note that the thrust from the two ventral thrusters there are not firing in unison properly. If I do a quick tap, I get one and then maybe the other. But if I go on damps, then everything works properly. Alright, where was that interesting rock cluster I saw? Because that was pretty close to the signal. Bunch of interesting rocks, and now I don't know where they were. Well, that's no fun. Been over way too many space rocks here. I was kind of hoping for a nice spot with some resources I could set up a second plant on, but that doesn't seem to be an option. I just saw it. Darn it. Tell you what, let's go to this one. Is it a large grid detector? 150? Yeah, it's maxed out on this grid. We checked that one earlier. But, you know, what can you do? It's 150, this is all you can do. I mean, the reality of it is also that... Leave. Store shows up when you search for ore. It's cute. I had something on here for... No, I just added the batteries. Power pack. I thought I'd added azimuth ore detectors, but I think I went against it because I said, well, why would I ever want to search for ore? And just made a... Got you, little bugger. Watch this thing blow me to bits or something. No cameras on this thing either, so I can't zoom in to see what it is. My guess is wreck floating in space that's going to trigger a trap. Do a nice wide pass of it. Right in the crosshairs there. Because I don't have any weapons on this thing. The only grid I have that's armed is down on the planet, and both of those grids are barely armed. Spurt mayday. Tell you what. Trust it. Turn on the assembler. Put the ass back online. Some parts on board. Give me a construction component. They should be able to match that much. Right? You're not throwing anything out at me. I like that. Camera. Stick a camera on this grid. Camera, where can I put you? Thing with that. That. You're not gonna let me put it there. I need steel plate and computers for this. Oh, okay. Wrong parts. Thinking of the other shit, the small grid version. Pull them out of my ass here. Still won't. It's keen in their annoying rotation, or their annoying legal, unlegal, illegal places to put things. Tip it that way, but I don't want to do that. So let's do a really stupid looking thing. There. Upside down to my whatchamacallit, this is gonna be fun. Put it on right side up for the hull, but I put it on upside down. That looks like a salvage opportunity to me. That's gonna spawn something. Also, the other thing I did add on was the cannon option, and of course whips overlay, because the in-game overlay sucks. Oh, actually I do have the camera on the right side. Okay. Nope, I take it back. Inverted controls. Oh god. Alright, you. We're about 1.8 out. Let's do a fast flyby and see what you cause. If anything. Because you also could be an armed grid. Plenty of maneuvering room out here, so I'm not too worried. Let's see, I see. Okay, I thought that might have been muzzle flashes, but it's not. Can you tell I have a healthy fear for grids in this game now, thanks to Lucas? Oh, sorry. This looks suspiciously like it could be operational pretty quickly. Let's see. A nifty skeleton and a device that'll point you to a cargo stash. See, the problem is this grid could also power up. It's got an intact engine on it. Also has an intact solar panel, not that it's providing any power. I'm also not seeing any weapon systems outside. Not to say that there's not one inside. Emergency reactor, yeah, emergency power back there. Battery systems has got power. Door of some sort down there. Dead battery on that side. Assembler that's damaged. Tell you what. It's also technically a drift too. Power on that. Yeah. Have anything I can lock on with you? Have. It's the gravel system. Get rid of that stupid sorter. Oh, lovely. That's where they stuck the gyro on this thing? Harold is not pleased with this design now. Let's just stick it somewhere it can be blown off and no problem, right? Only at something that could potentially spawn who knows what around me, and all I can do right now is fly in a straight line if something does. It was a good idea, wasn't it? I'm gonna refit it with a butt stinger for a grinder here. Just because it's the only place I can currently lock anything like that into the system. And make one large steel tube, because it's an assembler I'm working with, so... Front. You got me for that. Granted, I am not working with beta content right now, unfortunately, but I think we will all find this far more amusing. Butt stinger. Up. Ah, the joys of trying to fly backwards. Review, and let's go with grinder. Because I can. Because honestly, I don't really care about the pirate faction reputation. Should also think about getting a thing on so I can stabilize the wreck. There we go. No warheads. Detector. Emergency engines. Grav component or grav generator. No guns. No sign of anything explosive. What's the worst that can happen? Games are on. Stabilize the drift without ramming into anything. Really? Any surviving thrust around here? Really, even your O2s are kind of low. Turn that off then. If I can turn on the landing gear, we can tandem. Block enabled. What's the worst that can happen? Don't answer that. Gears on the other side, isn't it? There's the gear. Gotcha. Alrighty. Spurt antenna 3 kilometers out, just turned off. Yeah. Not too worried about it. We're just here for a quick pickup and burn to the station. Of course, your damps are off. That's causing problems. That's better. saw it down there. Not too far from the unknown signal. It's okay, I've got something shielding the bulk of the setup here. Yeah, actually no, it's a Mayday up there. The second signal that you might have seen. Somewhere up there, about 8 kilometers off. There's multiple signals going off, so I'm not surprised. Some useful stuff here. Let's turn off the hydrogens to save what power, or the ions and save what power we've got anyways. I swear if I die to a frickin'... Actually, hang on. Got access to the grid. Say, let's look for a disguised interior turret, because Keen can't do that anymore with these icons. No interior turrets. Mayday access denied. Alright, so basically I just need to go through and knock out the antenna here. Oh no, my reputation with Spurt just dropped. Seriously. What am I gonna do, guys? Out here, we're moving, so I'm not too worried about retaliation. Pretty full hydrogen tank, too. This might actually make the good start for a space base for me. So I did say I had that idea for putting a grid outside the space station here. So I've got something that I can do my own cargo inventory on and not have to, and maybe keep it mobile enough that I can pull it in for safety if something comes by. Reputation and spurts change by 1, by 1, by 1, by 1, by 1, by 1, by 1. Let's go full burn. Take me a while to get through it, or slow down, but if I start slowing down around the 10-kilometer range, it'll help. We have both O2 gens on, and we are still running out of... There, do that. Don't need the assembler on either. You're not doing oxygen, are you, at the moment? Idiotic game. Really? Thank you, Keen. I didn't even go out of sight of the ship and it won't generate O2 for me. Or H2. The fun thing is I've got to be... There's no weapons on those things. So if I stop outside the safe zone with this ship, I should be good. And what I'll do is tear this down and build a... tear it down for everything but the hydrogen tank. If I can cut the hydrogen tanks out, that would probably help. Because this one's mostly full. This one could potentially be full. I'll pop some parts in there to help. Need some large steel tubes, quite a few of them. Really much left. I am assuming that is the aforementioned location of the skeleton. There's the cryonay there. Oh, I'm gonna completely trash my reputation with Spurt on this one. Cryotube, gyro, safe area. Alright, this is just turned off. Oh, the reputation, humanity. I see no skeleton, guys. Sorry. Perform scan to retrace hidden cargo. Which you meant it's gonna spawn in something. Lamps on. Hydrogen on. Find the grid easily enough. Stash satellite. I see a sensor. Game. Oh, right. Stupid thing there. Alright. Oh no, inventory full. Whatever will I do with, Actually, that's nice. Now I got upgraded tools I don't really need. I'll admit that does make it a little nervous. Let's find the ship. Somewhere on the last trajectory, right? It's not like I can exactly lose a big grid. Did I lose all my save files? No, I actually trimmed down the backup copy of the game. Because with all the save files, it's 100 and... well, not 100, easily 13, 14, 15 meg. Which is... actually, what are we doing? No, I'll come back with the ship and grab the grid stuff. I definitely want to salvage it, but I don't want to do it with all this stuff hanging out in the middle of nowhere. Get a little closer to save zone. But yeah, I've not lost anything, I just trimmed it down, because when you do the process of they have to go through to maintain a copy of the beta, your old save files can add up pretty quickly. 13 gigs is a bit much to copy again and again and again too, so save a little bit of time. % gyros, and this thing's actually not doing too bad. Slow it down. It'd be too close, but I don't want to be right in the bubble either if I can avoid it. I don't know how the faction would handle me dragging a space pirate into close quarters with them. YouTube give out on you? Nah. YouTube doesn't do anything ever strange. No, it doesn't do that. You must be thinking of some other streaming service, right? 1 kilometer, I think that's close enough. Let's try to avoid weapons range if we can. That's better. Just outside of it. Alright, we got ourselves a bit of a fun thing here to play with. And here I am saying I said I wasn't going to build a ship. I was going to get everything from the store, but the simple fact of the matter is tearing this thing down... I could actually just tear it down and sell off the parts in the store. This is an entirely viable option here, so let's try this. Detach from the grid. Go in. Set my gears. Not auto-lock. Just relocked. So, convert to station because we're not moving. So now you won't be bumped out of the way when I do it. Let's put... I don't want to lose my precious top... my top piston part, but I need a place to put another cockpit on this grid, and I can't do it from that angle. You are open and back, so I can't put anything there. I want to put something on this ship that's going to let me do it as a dual head. And I know I'm invoking all manner of potential hell from the folks who remember PvPvP. And remember how useless the Hydra was 90% of the time, but the fact of the matter is, it would kind of make things a lot easier if I can actually fly this thing properly. I've also got to do it where I'm not in the grinder, too. Tell you what, you do that. Let's just give you a little bit extra room back here, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 to avoid thruster damage. I'll give you 7 to be safe. I have a ridiculous tail end to it, which just means we're going to have to wag the tail. Do is actually have to put a connector in there. Grab the motor. There you go, game. You know you want to grab the motor. Now it's the killer bee. Not a bad, pretty straightforward design here. Pretty easy to also expand it out if I get to that point. We need our assembler online and start making some extra parts here. Let's see. Construction components, because I can make a couple and I'll just have to get the rest out of the salvage. Oh, right, I also got to turn that on, don't I? Assembler on. Should do is rig up a bob. Except I don't want to do that because let's stay away from Bob doing dismantling on this one. I think that will work out better. Anything over there that's got small steel tubes on it. Assembler. But empty out my inventory a little at least. Door. Steel plate only. Conveyor junction. Some and I'm almost afraid to ask what my just salvaging one ship. What is my space power? Oh, good lord. Yeah, I'm gonna drop that reputation faster than a stone off the side of the Empire State Building. Don't do that, by the way, because you're gonna seriously hurt people. Interior plate. Assembler's not gonna do much for me. You're piped up pretty tightly in here. Cargo container there that I can grind down. Let's see what we get out of you. Nothing. Alright, out you come. Apparently the grav generator is still running here. Gotta do something about that. Saw you from the outside, I thought. Maybe it was the inside. Yeah, from down here. Arrow, gyro. Why are you still running timer blocks? I don't trust timer blocks. Make me very nervous. What are you doing, game? Air. Cryo. Generator. Crap. There, without grinding it down. Must grind it down in order to turn it off. Or I can just come in this way. What drop faster, a ton of stone or a ton of SPRT wrap? Oh, there. Also help save what... Oh, there's a med center down there. Nice. Can't use it, but... What's that? Plumbed up, but that's fine. It's like the timer block here looks the back of space bars, thrusters, or the Star Wars ones. Let me say tube, not all of them. Okay. Get the welders though, nice. Kind of. Not really. Oh, that's the other thing I gotta do. Inventory on you. Let's drop off some stuff I don't need. Basic tools and fix my hotbar. Pardon me whilst I slip into some more comfortable accoutrements. Go at this guy faster. Junction, tubes. Ah, much better. Motors. Who's gonna have motors? You have some motors. Fortunately, the inventory is flippin' full again. What did I pick up that's absolutely clogging my inventory right now? Aside from the gravel and the radio components. That'll help. Carrying around 1,000,000 tons of gravel and radio components, one of the more bulkier items in the game, wonders why his inventory is always full. Fail. That's in there, okay. Ah, 4 more motors, come on. Motor madness. I could make them, but I don't want to make them now. I want to live off the land. Motors. No. Do want to get that welded back up, though. Doors will have motors. Or so are these tubes that are in here as well. In fact, it's funny, it's kind of the exact thing I need to actually do stuff. Nice, broken monitor texture. Nice little touch, that. All but one. That's good enough. Need the spot where I'm gonna fly it. Said I was gonna... stick it right there. That'll work fine. It'll actually pipe it up nicely, too. More motors! No! Why? What's with the timer blocks? What's the deal with that? What's the deal? Why do you need all those timer blocks there? This thing can't possibly have that many ovens on it. Displays. Can grab those inside. way down. What are... Oh, you got the hydrogen engine. There, basic refinery. There. That. And that. This thing is definitely not going to fly again at this point. Displays. Some. Will give them to me. I will use them to take over the world. Not that there's really much to take over, because there's nobody in existence here, apparently. Everyone went home. It's holiday weekend. No one around in this world. Nope. Okay, so we got a couple steel plates left there. Fine, fine, fine. Live with that. Still 24 computers I've got to pick up. Hope this thing's got plenty of storage space on it. It's as populated as it is here in Alaska. As populated as it is in Antarctica. Computer? I need a computer. Computer. Computers. Oh, batteries. I can grab from that. Be gone from that one. Nope. Door has computer. Button panel has computer. Need input. Computers. Cryopod. Nothing could go wrong grinding down cryopods. Not gonna have any bodies start tumbling out of them. No, sir. That doesn't happen. That kind of thing only happens in the space movies. There we go. I think my controls are the wrong way around again now. Nope, actually no, I got them right. Cockpit's on the right side. Alrighty. Grind time. Interestingly enough, I do not see any dire warnings from the game about how I am going to be absolutely trashing my reputation with the pirates doing this. I find this amusing. And now you wonder why we invest in big Bob ships like the Doomba and the Yellow Square and Space Engineer streams. Because there's 6 minutes left of this stream and I'm barely going to have time to tear down a good chunk of the screen. I'm going to watch it around the back. This egg, I just cut that guy loose. Okay, yeah, he's gone. What's this for over that? I don't want to tear down the hydrogen containers on this, as I said. Let's see if I can finish those off properly. That'll help. Unload into you. Tell me you have some large steel tubes I've picked up. Oh. Large steel, 452, and... what is not piping up right on this grid? Come on. Kidding me? Okay, you can sneak under the... whatchamacallit there. Underneath the piston cap. That makes absolutely no sense why this is working. What the heck? I can't pull Conveyor junction to a hydrogen tank. Okay, game, whatever. You do you. Just don't get the... Don't hit those tanks. Any contents left in them, I want them. Means grinding it down, but not grinding it down. Like, repair it, then grind it down again, so I can hack it. Is keen. That little bit there. Thank you, game. Hang on. Oxygen tank there. Don't want to take that out either. Might as well try to salvage that if we can. I just need a... For those rare moments when I'm gonna need it. Stick a welder on. Alright, I think that at this point we're gonna have to call the stream because I've got a lot more to do here. And what I'll probably do is off camera finish grinding down the rest of this so I can salvage the tanks. This is some less stuff that I have to worry about. Don't know. So I'll attach them to the butt end of this somehow. Maybe we'll start the stream off with that next time, actually. But I think that's where we're going to have to call this one for tonight. We're safe. We're operational. We've gotten some salvage. Our fleet is mobilized and properly located, both down on the planet and out here in space. We have not found any uranium yet, though, despite the asteroid density being kicked up to a high point. And no, the grinders are connected upright, guys. The grinders are 5-sided for the connections. So yeah, they're set up right. Oh, no, they aren't. Well, shoot, there's your problem. I got one done properly. We'll be able to fix that. I'll take care of that real quick then, and actually do that properly. Because I know this thing's going to be screwed up too now as well. Dope! Feral did a derp. Alright. Anyways, guys, we got to end that one there, so thank you all for watching. We'll be back over on Wasted Spaces channel on Saturday with the return, once again, of Uncooperative, doing, presumably, kicking back off with our little Apollo 13 moment. Well, hopefully not on Apollo 13. We're hoping for Apollo 11, I suspect. But if 13 happens, then 13 happens. We'll catch you then. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.